fifth graders, Mrs. Hales here with day 2 of drawing your macro or your up-close animal eyes. So today we're going to finish blending and layering our colors. I thought I would go through with you what the different animals are that the eyes belong to, in case you didn't know, that I put up for you, that last slide I put up for you last class. Starting on the top left, that's a Bengal tiger. In the middle on the top is an owl. The top right is a kitty cat, like a house cat. Underneath the cat with the green and yellow eyes, I think it's a crocodile. And then the bottom left is some kind of lizard. The bottom in the middle is a white tiger. I'll show you a picture of him in a second. And then the bottom right corner is another owl. That blue eye in the middle at the bottom came from this beautiful white tiger. Now, I noticed something funny when I was editing my last video that I couldn't edit out. And you guys have probably seen this before, but sometimes my puppy comes in to visit me a lot. She comes upstairs a lot to visit me in my office, and she's always bringing me something. So I thought I would show you guys Mavis, my puppy that's like 10 months, 11 months old.
What did you bring me? Huh? Somebody saw?
And this is Esther, and that's pretty much what she does all day. And then my last coworker is Gigi, and she's outside all day, laying around. Before I forget, I wanted to give a special shout out to House Kula. I miss you guys, and one of these days I'm gonna come to a Together Tuesday to see everybody. Okay, the House Kula people go to Gandhi, so that was my old school, so I wanted to say hello to them. All right, let's get started on our animal eyes. I noticed that I didn't have quite enough dark blue. I felt like my blues need to be darker, so I took a kind of a medium royal blue, and I'm gonna blend that in with my turquoise. Notice my strokes now are little circles. I find that little circles are the best way for me to blend. I also find that the texture of the little tiny circles matches the texture of a lot of the eyeball, a lot of the different animal eyeballs. Now, I'm gonna blend these colors by coming back in over where the blue meets the turquoise with one of my turquoises. That's where the blending happens. So I put my blue down on top of my turquoise, and then I came back over that edge of where the blue met the turquoise, and I blended those colors together with turquoise. Now I'm gonna outline my eye with black. You could do this step now, but if you're afraid you're gonna smear the black, you could wait and do this step at the very end. I wanted to show you, and I kind of wanted to draw the veins, and I wanted to see how much the eye popped out when I kind of outlined it with the black. So notice my eye is not a perfect circle, and I'm okay with that. It's because it's really not a perfect circle. So the black kind of emphasizes that. Now I'm going to draw the veins. My pressure that I'm drawing with my oil pastel now is very light, because in some cases you can barely see the veins. I'm not drawing every vein, just like I didn't draw every scale. And they're probably not in exactly the right places as the veins are, but I'm okay with that because they're still going to look like veins in the eye. I'm trying to give the impression or the illusion that there are veins here. There are artists who would draw every single vein in the right place, and that there's nothing wrong with that. We don't have time for that today. So now I'm drawing this, the shape of this, the black part of the eye, the pupil. And notice I'm leaving some white and that yellowish color on the edge. That's kind of like the highlight. It's not a highlight, but it's like a highlight in that how it surrounds the pupil. And I want to leave that white part there. So I'm just using the edge of my oil pastel. So you want to vary your pressure. If you're worried about smearing your artwork, save your black until the very, very end, even after you've done your feathers or your scales or your fur, whatever texture your animal has. All right, y'all, do not be afraid to layer those colors, to blend them, and even put light colors back on top of dark colors. That's my #1 helpful hint. It's time to do the scales. So these are the colors that I see in the body of my lizard. And I also see a dark brown that I didn't pick out. So just like you did the eyeball itself, you're gonna go through the scales, and every place you see your lightest color, so in this case it's a light yellow, you're gonna put that color. If you kind of squint your eyes and pick out what color you're looking for in your picture, that helps you see where to put the colors more. So you're not focusing on the object, you're focusing on just where you see the color. Now there's lots of gray, especially in that lower left corner and the right part under the eye. So I'm putting the gray in, and then I'm going to put my mustard brown in. I'm going to come on top of that with a darker brown, and then every place I see black, I'm gonna put black. I did outline my highlight around that edge of that eye with black. So I outlined the top and the bottom of my highlight around that edge with black. I did that at the very, very end though, because I didn't want the black to smear. All right, fifth graders, don't be afraid to layer those colors. The worst thing that can happen is that you make something that you don't love. That's not really something so bad, because you're learning so much every time you make a mistake or do something you don't like, just as much as you learn when you make something you really like. All right, I will see you next class.